Now this game's heating up.
Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. Today I have a top contender for the best deck this patch, which is Ashe and Sejuani mid-range. It was among the top 3 decks last patch along with Brahmanivia and Basilisk Aggro, but Riot hit both of those decks this patch, leaving Ashe and Sej as the clear winners going into the upcoming meta. This deck aims to play on curve, getting out the best unit per turn whenever possible, and outpacing the opponents with strong units, Frostbite, and it even has removal options on top of a sick draw engine as well. It's an overall very balanced deck with a medium learning curve. I want to run through my card choices, explain why they're in the deck, and give you the knowledge to pilot the deck yourself. The code for the deck will be in the description below. Before I get into the deck profile, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. My current goal is just 1,000 subs and I'm only a couple hundred away, so it would be awesome if you joined. I also stream on Twitch regularly, so check me out over there if you want live gameplay of someone who's hit Master Tier during all 3 ranked seasons. With that, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. So, this is one of the decks that I used to climb to Master Tier this season. It had pretty good matchups across the board, and I think it got a whole lot better with the patch. So, let's start off with the 1 costs. So firstly we got Brittle Steel, really good combat trick Frostbite of course. We got 2 Elixir of Irons. 3 is too much, 2 is just the right number. It helps you survive against Piltover and Zon removal spells, and you can win some combat with it. Next we got Triple Omen Hawk, one of the best, if not the best, 1-drops in the entire game. This is really good no matter what you hit with the deck. You can even synergize with this, like if Omen Hawk hits your Trifarian Assessor, then she becomes a self-draw. So really good synergy there. Next we have 3 Iceveil Archer, another good Frostbite, really good defensive turn 2 unit. Trifarian Glory Seeker, oh my god, this card is so good. It's so hard to remove her unless the opponent has Vile Feast or something early, which if you have Elixir of Iron, no problems. So Glory Seeker can take out high priority targets like any champion that the opponents are running or problematic units that they're trying to buff up. Next we have Avarosian Trapper. Now he's in here because he's a good 3-mana 3/3 body, but also because on summon he shuffles an Enraged Yeti into the top 3 cards of your deck. Now this is a 1-mana 5/5, so he's really easy to play on following turns. Like if you get him out on turn 4 right after Trapper puts him there, then you can play him and you can play, something else on top of him and just keep up the pressure. Another cool thing about the Yeti is that since he is 5 attack, he is a draw power for Assessor. That's going to be a common theme that you see a lot throughout this deck profile. On top of Trifarian Glory Seeker, you also have Reckless Trifarian. He's another 5 cost, really strong early game. He can beat over some stuff, make the opponents fear for their life that you're getting in too much damage, and he's also 5 cost for Assessor. Moving on, we have Culling Strike, which is a premium removal tool. This is really good against most champions in the meta. You can hit Anivia, you can hit Braum, you can hit Ezreal. Unfortunately, you can't hit Draven because when Draven gets summoned, he will make a spinning axe and he can buff himself up past the 3 attack threshold. But Culling Strike, really versatile, hits a lot of champs, hits a lot of units. Next we have our first champion, 3 copies of Ashe. She's obviously really good because of the Frostbite synergy that's going on with the deck. Also, when she attacks, she Frostbites for free, and she has 5 attack, which is Trifarian Assessor proc. You guessed it. Speaking of which, Trifarian Assessor, when she's summoned, draw 1 for each 5+ power ally you have. This includes herself if she gets buffed like I mentioned earlier from Omen Hawk. She is absolutely insane, probably the single best draw card in the entire game, because you can refill your resources so much while keeping strong units on the board, and she's even a body herself. The 4-drop spot in Legends Runeterra is kinda weak overall, so by comparison, this makes her extremely broken, probably the best 4-drop next to pre-nerf Basilisk, so got that going for it. Next we have 3 Kato. Kato he was so underloved for so long, but he found a perfect place in this deck. 5 attack spot, perfect for Assessor, and extreme amounts of damage. If you already have a developed board because you played on curve turns 1, 2, 3, 4, you play him on top of it, it's usually overkill. It's really hard for the opponent to deal with both Kato and the supported ally if he's not removed right away. being 4 HP is a real plus for him, by the way, speaking of which, because he can dodge Grasp and he can dodge Black Sphere. The only thing that really hits him is Vengeance if the opponent has saved up mana, or something like that, maybe Frostbite plus Culling Strike combo. It's really difficult to remove 4 HP creatures in this game, so Kato, really good card. Next we have 2 Harsh Winds, a really good combat trick, Frostbite. Super good late game. You can cheese out some damage with this, you can cheese out some kills, and you can mitigate some damage. Very, very good. Next we have 2 Reckoning. Now this I knew was going to be a blowout card. Reckoning is extremely powerful in elusive meta, as long as it doesn't get denied. It's also really strong into Basilisk aggro, it's really strong into Shadow Isles type decks. Like, this card, if it gets resolved in the right situation, is just game over immediately. So that's why I run 2 of it, and there's lots and lots of units that have 5 cost power that makes this card live. So, Pog. Next we have Sejuani. Now this is the thing that I thought was really weird, is Sejuani's at 2 in this deck. And that's because 3 is just overkill and the rest of the deck is too tight to take anything else out. I guess you could technically take out 1 Brittle Steel and put in 3rd Sedge, but I think that will hurt the consistency of the deck just a little bit. 2 Sedge is enough. This deck is not aimed around Sedge as a win condition. She's just a strong turn 6 follow-up after Kato, and a game finisher. That's it. Speaking of game finisher, the last card in the deck is 2 copies of Captain Pharaon. Now, he got changed recently, for anyone who doesn't know. He used to just replace your hand with Decimates, but now he creates 3 new ones in your hand on top of what you already have. So he doesn't take away any of your resources, he just adds, on top of being an 8/8 with Overwhelm himself. Absolutely incredible. You can usually find a lot of cheesy lethals with him as well, so super, super cool. Very straightforward, really nice curve in this deck, really easy to pilot once you get a couple games in. And that about wraps it up for the deck profile. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context on why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. Alright, looks like we're going up against Jinx, Draven, Discard, which recently got buffed with Zonai Urchin and Sump Dredger being a little bit better for the deck. So it's going to be exciting. Let's take out Assessor. We should probably keep Reckoning since most of his units are going to be 4 cost or lower. We don't need Triferian either. Let's try to maximize our chances of seeing Omen Hawk. No Omen Hawk turn 1, but that's usually fine. Passing on turn 1 is actually good with this deck, so you always have Brittle Steel or Elixir mana if necessary. So yeah, we'll pass turn 1. And we'll play Defensive Iceveil Archer. Maybe he plays a problematic unit. So there we go, now I have Brittle Steel mana as well. He's passing. He probably has removal, so Glory Seeker and Archer just get sniped by something cheesy, so we'll pass and keep the spell mana. I can play Trapper on 3, which is good. 3-man 3/3 is really good stats, especially on an uncontested board.
I'm through waiting.
Suit up, wow, okay. Pretty interesting card. That took pretty much all of his mana to do, and he's left with a 4/1, which is fine. Now it's in Brittle Steel range.
Just you and me, fish bones.
Let's freeze this. If he attacks with Jinx, he falls into Brittle Steel trap.
Oh, part of the plan.
Okay.
Just meet up.
Vision and Jury Rig, that's fine.
No, it's here somewhere.
So now Jinx definitely dies for free.
Stay back.
He fell into the Brittle Steel trap. That's why Frostbite's such a good combat trick. It's a bruh moment. Okay, next we can play Glory Seeker.
I need just a moment.
We're definitely whipping out Kato on attack turn 5. Oh, we'll show him the top decked one for tilt factor.
Who gets tossed?
If he has removal for Glory Seeker, then I probably pass this turn, right? Okay, Thermo Beam. Yep.
I'll cut them apart. You're mine.
I guess we can attack here in Brittle Steel, saving my unit. That sounds pretty good, because then I can Reckoning the following turn. In case that comes up. Drawing into Ashe or Assessor would be really good right now. So is Yeti and Kato.
Time for the main event.
Sure. We'll play Yeti here, no problem. Zonai Urchin is fine. So now I have two options. I can either Reckoning and kill his current board, or I can play Kato. I feel like Kato's better, especially if I'm planning on open attacking next turn.
What time is it?
So I'll continue to play for board. I can always Reckoning later since I have multiple 5-cost units, or 5 attack units.
Do this.
Help the poor.
Okay. I will take 3 and I will block the Urchin with my Yeti. This does put Yeti into Get Excited range. Ooh, Brothers Bond, okay. So I take 5 and Yeti goes down to 1. That's fine. I think I'm still okay. So I have 8 mana. I'm going to Icefell Archer here.
Winter take you.
I want him to commit to the board now.
Where's my money, bookie? Draven, good to... let's talk after.
Let's do this.
For glory.
Like
Face
so.
me.
My arrow won't miss. I give you muscles. I don't want it.
Okay. He's forced to full block, so that means I don't even need to use my Reckoning. Second Brothers Bond. Very interesting. He's playing a very aggressive variation of this deck.
Time for the moneymakers.
Okay. So he only did that so he could make another blocker. He has 1 card in hand versus my 2. I'm winning on board and in hand. So we're gonna go into top deck phase. Ah, okay. Second copy of Draven. That does put a damper on things, not gonna lie.
Carve a path.
Alright, this is good though. Going into next turn with maximum mana. Ooh, I can Pharaon. Let's go.
Let's boogie.
Sure, I'll
If
jump
it's a
block
fight
that.
they want.
And we Pharaon for sure.
Where's my money, bookie? Draven, good to... let's talk after. Bookie's choice.
Ooh. I can open with Assessor. That sounds really good, but so does just attacking outright. What does he play that I'm scared of? Nothing really, so I can Assessor.
Line up.
Draw 2. Harsh Winds is really good here. I'm glad I drew. This gives me more flexibility in what I want to do this turn.
Arrows at the ready.
I'll do it myself.
Finish him.
I have 8 mana to work with, so that's 1 card this turn. If he blocks problematically, I have Harsh Winds. If he doesn't, then I can Reckoning his hand if he plays it out. Or I can just straight up use Decimate. Got lots of options.
Now we're cooking.
This is a-okay. Ooh, nice try, buddy. So this is where Rolling Death gets hella outplayed. Boop, boop. Thank God I opened the turn with some draws. This just won me the game.
Draven out?
Yep. Now it's over. Feels good, man. Oh, Sejuani on top of it. Just add insult to injury. GG's. This deck gets so overwhelming, no pun intended, if it like starts picking up momentum. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out since I'm still trying to grow. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters.